Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi, and today I will be playing a horrible stinkman detective named Shiro Azumi. And with me today is the amazing, wonderful, and the talented.
Hi, I'm Vamp, and today I shall be playing the Magic Man. And if you've listened to my FPSs and been like, hey, did she play all of these on the same day? No, shut up, no, I didn't. But
She did!
yeah, I'll be playing the Magic Man, a Magic Man on a mission.
Wonderful, wonderful. You're playing a Magic Man on a mission, and today's mission is something different than usual. Um, Mersel,
Yes.
today is it's not too different from usual because today Azumi is hanging out with you. I'm gonna say and like go out on a limb. This FPS probably takes place sometime after um missing number, I believe it was.
Yep,
Uh,
probably.
but before the disappearance of Camille Christie.
Yes,
Um,
probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. um. Anyway,
Anyway, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
everything's fine. Everything
If you guys
happens so
haven't listened
much.
to Disappearance of Camille Christie, you probably should, because I love Fletch, and I know Fletch did an amazing job there. But if you have and you're screaming, yeah, that's good. We're all screaming here.
Yeah, it's
Thumbs
true.
up.
It's
But
true.
anyway,
Uh,
anyway,
so yeah, you guys are hanging out, and today you have decided to do something a little different. Rather than
yeah.
doing a sparring match or whatever, what have you decided to do?
Yeah, so Azumi, there's a knock on your door, and it's Marcel, because Azumi seems like the kind of person with his bullshit perception to, in fact, like be able to identify people by their knocks.
This is true. He's got a fucking passive of 23.
Azumi, ah yes, the cadence of this knock, the way the knocker knocks twice. This has to be Marcel.
To be fair, you've also probably arranged a hangout at some point earlier.
Yeah, God. Well, Azumi, if you go and open the door, I'm not making you roll for it because I know better than to do that. Um, Marcel is smiling in a way that usually means that he has something like in mind.
Oh boy. Um, because he does share an apartment with Launch's flock of birds that we all lovingly know as the Reginalds. I'm probably going to say that they're probably out and about right now.
They're out to get food to feed their little detective child.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Is it really?
It's fine.
But yeah,
But yeah, he opens the door and sees you there and sees the look on your face and he goes, "Ah, we're doing something different today."
am I that easy to read? And Sol just kind of like walks in after you open the door with like a little smile.
No, I'm just very good at reading people.
I guess so. But to answer your question, yes. I was actually thinking, he he kind of like looks at you and goes, "Do you remember when we, you know, got spirited away to a secondary location?"
I would rather forget, but yes.
Well, despite everything that happened in there, it did remind me that I still haven't taught you how to cook.
This again. He looks a little
Yes,
bit annoyed.
yes, this again. You can't live off takeout forever, Azumi.
Oh, it's fine. I get by just fine.
I think like Is Azumi the kind of person to, after he eats takeout, he just stacks them like on the counter until he actually takes them out to the trash?
No, he does throw them out. He doesn't like
Damn it.
he doesn't like a messy space.
Yeah, damn it, Marcel would have looked at it. But unfortunately, since that's not the case, I think Cell just like looks at Azumi and it's just like, do you even have anything in your fridge that's not takeout? Or instant noodles?
I have no idea what the whatever the Reginalds keep in there.
God, I'm just gonna assume that like if Cell opens the fridge, there's just like a singular apple and that's it.
I don't know, man. This is a Toon apartment, and the majority of the people who live it are birds. There's probably millet in there somewhere. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
way more
Cell,
millet than there should be.
God, I think Cell looks at Millet and it's just like, Azumi, this is all right. This is probably for your roommates, whoever they are. But Azumi, you can't live off this. You need to learn how to cook actual food.
And he just looks rather annoyed, and he's just going to like cross his arms, and he goes, "Bro, what do you say? No, you're not saying that out loud, you fucker."
What was he gonna say?
He
Like,
was
what is?
gonna say that's probably a lost cause.
God, if he did. But anyway, yeah, Cell's just like looking at Azumi and it's just like, come on, it's not gonna be that bad. Besides, have you ever, and don't tell me about that time you tried to fillet a fish. Filleting is hard even for professionals. Have you ever tried to cook before?
I actually haven't decided this. That was probably the best time, so I'm just gonna. Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. Goodbye. You're dropping that in the bucket, not looking at it until later. Um.
Hmm. Hey, Abby, what the hell does that mean?
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Oh, I
Um.
worry about it so much.
I'm trying to keep this at a low angst rating, buddy. Anyway. Uh.
Oh no, we're barely in, or and we're already going through this. I see how it
Yeah.
is.
Anyway, and anyway, he kind of just, well, his arms are already crossed as he's looking at you. Um, you're very tall. He
Yes,
doesn't
very.
look that intimidating to you. Besides, you know him,
Yeah.
and he's just like, no, I haven't.
Well, in no time like the present, right? And think about it this way. Whatever you cook, I'm sure I can probably salvage it if it does turn out badly.
There's a pause as he just kind of stares at you with one eyebrow up that's lifted upwards, and after a moment he just kind of sighs and he goes, "All right, fine."
And self brightens, and you have the feeling that he was fully expecting you to argue more, and is very glad that you didn't. And it's just like, that's fantastic. He looks at Azumi's apartment. Where is your kitchen?
They were already in it, Vamp. They opened the
Shit,
fridge.
shit, shit! I blanked out. I blanked out. I blanked out. I listen. I put my hand on your shoulder. I blanked. But like, I think he just like, okay. He looks around the kitchen and goes, "You ever use your kitchen aside from heating up instant noodles?"
Hmm. I'm not the one who usually cooks. What the fuck happened to your accent, buddy?
Okay. My laughter aside. Um,
I'm not the
God.
one who usually cooks. That's
I.
usually
It's
my
usually your
roommates.
room. I should meet them sometime. I wonder what they're like. And I think Cell's actually, I don't know. Hey,
Wait,
that
has Marcel really not met the Reginalds? I thought they worked at the Dodo Studios.
what, the Reginalds?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do.
Maybe he's just gone this long without meeting them.
Or even more possibly, he's already met them, but he doesn't know that they're Azumi's roommates.
You know what? That's
Just getting
probably fair.
information is getting information from Azumi. It's like trying to pry a rusted box open with a crowbar.
This is true.
Yeah, although considering getting information from Cell is just as hard, I don't think he has a leg to stand on here. Um, but yeah, that's a 10 on the hammer space rule. He takes out like cooking utensils. He just like plonks them on the counter one by one. Coons.
I mean, if you're pulling out like cooking utensils and whatnot, and this is a well, first of all, this is a very tiny apartment. It's very hard to miss the kitchen, but he does find the stuff. Actually, hang on, because this is the Reginalds we're talking. Okay, yeah, no, he does. That was
Yeah.
a quick events investigation.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, yeah, Azumi can, but like, can Marcel, considering the kind of places the originals might have put kitchen utensils?
Yeah, no, the Reginalds who are their own brand TM of shenanigans. Um, hmm. It's weird. You see him pull out a pot out of a drawer.
Yes.
It's just like the pot is too big for said drawer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is cartoon shenanigans. I'm trying to think of some more like weird places to pick things up. Um,
Behind his own ear.
behind his own. He's real kind. He doesn't have anything like that.
Unfortunate.
He probably like he probably goes over to where the Reginald's beds are and just like finds like I don't know a spatula or something and comes back and washes it.
God. As Azumi's doing this, like upon noticing that Azumi is actually finding kitchen utensils, I think Cell returns his own and starts taking out ingredients instead.
What kind of ingredients are you pulling out? Like what exactly does Marcel have in mind that is going to be a good starting point for
For
Azumi to
Azumi,
learn?
I think Cell like pauses before he does so and it's just like, do you have anything against potatoes?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, and he start taking out about 6 potatoes. Do not ask how he has potatoes in his summer space. Like, do not. It's fine. Um, he takes out like 6 russet potatoes. Azumi looks away. Azumi looks back. He's taking out a whole carton of milk. Azumi looks away. Azumi looks back. He's taken out a whole stick of butter. Azumi looks away. Azumi looks back. He's taking out salt and pepper. God. And he's just like, I was thinking we could make a potato soup. It only takes about 30 minutes or so. And I feel like you'd probably enjoy a quick recipe than anything too complicated. And it only really needs potatoes, milk, water, and just a few spices.
I'm trying to. What are the words, boy? And he kind of just like looks over the ingredients and then looks back up at you, and he just goes, "That is rather simple."
Yes, I thought that we'd start small. And again, I feel like you would probably be more likely to actually make something to eat if it was simple.
I mean, you're not wrong, Marcel.
He just says that, like, he just says that, and Azumi's just like, you're not wrong.
He's just like he blinks and he just kind of rubs a hand against his face. He just goes, "I'm glad to see your faith in me is astounding."
Oh yes, I have total faith in you. Cell's like smiling at him like brightly. You cannot tell if he's shitting you or not.
Oh,
Listen,
wonderful.
Avi, I hold you so gently. They're like kind of close enough as friends that Azumi can let a bit of the bastard leak. Yeah, Azumi gets to see Marcel being a little shit sometimes.
You're insufferable.
Me, insufferable? I never. A little halo like appears above his head. I'll have you know that most people call me perfectly sweet.
I can't say I'm really seeing it. He's just gonna pick up a potato and he just goes, "Okay."
And I think, alright, Saul's just like, okay, moving back to the actual lesson. First we scrub the potatoes clean, which is, pretty simple. You just scrub the potato under running water. He pauses. Not with soap. Just scrub them with water.
Azumi kind of gives you a look like, yeah, he kind of figured that you're not supposed to use soap.
Marcel looks at Azumi and is just like, I've had to teach my girlfriend how to cook and my little brother, and my girlfriend burned water at some point.
No, never mind.
We're tunes, and so until I get a kind of baseline for how capable you are, I'm going to be probably treating this lesson very simply, as simple as I can.
I see.
Yeah, exactly, Fletch. Like, out of character, like Fletch just said in the nuts and bolts, I've known people who use soap and people who wash meat, and I'm just like, yeah. Out of character, yeah. I was one of those people. I almost washed a potato with soap.
Puts head in hands.
Listen, I have no excuse. Like, in fairness, I was really young at that time, so like when someone was like, "Oh, scrub the potatoes," I assumed that soap was necessary.
But like, alright, oh my god. Vamp.
Sorry, but anyway, yeah, so scrubbing the potato is like just literally scrubbing a potato underwater. I don't think Azumi has to roll for this.
I mean, I could. I want to
what
bully
would you-
him.
What would you roll for scrubbing
Dex?
a potato?
I don't know.
I'm gonna laugh. Okay, fine. Roll Dex, you heathen.
Are we sure we want him to roll sleight of hand? Actually, wait, is he the one that has? Yeah, of course he does.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna cry. You're really making the boy roll to scrub fucking potatoes.
I want him to get bullied. I just rolled Dex. And it's a 15, so nothing...
Nothing happens. Like, you just scrub the potatoes. Like, Azumi, even you know how to scrub potatoes. And after you scrap the potatoes, Marcel like brings out a chopping board, brings out the two knives that you took out from somewhere, and then goes, all right, so the next step is peeling the potatoes. Do you, do you know if your kitchen has potato peelers, or are we going to have to rely on knives?
I don't think he does know. Hang on. Yeah, no, he's just if we do, I am not sure where they are.
So like nods and it's just like, yes, that. He looks back at the knives. This was an oversight on my part. I forgot to put the potato peeler in my hammer space. I usually can peel stuff with just a knife, but it might be a little rougher for you since it's your first time. Then again, and then then again he kind of tilts his head at this. You are pretty good at knives, so
I think cooking and battle are two different things, Marcel.
uh, give it some time. Learn a few recipes, and you'll find that in some ways they're pretty alike. I can see you've never had to wrestle with dough, and Cell makes a face before handing Azumi a knife.
And he just gives you a confused look like hello before he just
Um,
takes the knife.
um, Out of character, they're tunes. Like I'm pretty sure there has been more than one incident in the studio when someone baked like a cake wrong
No,
and the
I
dough
understand
lied.
this.
Yeah,
Azumi just doesn't.
yeah. Griselda smiles at him and then goes, you'd want to peel them completely, get all the skin off. It's okay if you can't, get a smooth peel. Peeling does take a bit of practice, so don't be too, discouraged if you end up taking chunks of the potato with the skin.
Alright. He's gonna
And
watch how you do it first before he does it himself.
all right, I'm doing advantage because I'm using a luck point because the dice is
I
literally
look
like
away.
I I oh my god. Okay, 13. I mean, it's not bad. Like he he peels the potatoes. Like it's not like oh my god, he's peeling the potatoes so well. Assume he's gonna faint from how well he's peeling. No, he's just peeling the potatoes.
Alright, and he takes a look. Are you rolling just straight dex or a sleight of hand?
I'm just rolling straight decks.
Alright.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway for me just because he doesn't have proficiency in sleight of hand.
Alright, in that case, I might just roll dex. Why did you roll better than Buddy? Actually, no, you know what? You're rolling at disadvantage because you've never done this before.
I'm waiting for his second to be a nat 20 or something.
You said that!
Was it a nat 20?
Yes! So his worst roll was a 17!
Yep. So I think like this actually like here's the thing, like as much as like cooking is different from battle and wielding a cooking knife is different than wielding an actual like for battle knife. Number one, the DC for this wasn't very high. Like even if you had rolled like a 12 or an 11, it would still have passed. And number two, again, Azumi does have experience with knives, maybe not cooking knives, but it's actually not that difficult when after seeing the example.
Yeah, he's. I think part of it is like, Sorry, I spaced out because I got added in a different server.
It's okay.
Yeah, but like I think part of it is because where Mersel multi-classed into rogue, Azumi is just straight rogue, so he has a lot more focus on dexterity in that sense.
Yep. Cell is very very heavily like charisma based.
Yeah, and while charisma is also Azumi's best stat, he also just is pretty good with, like you said, knives.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think Cell looks over and he's just like smiling, like not I'm being a little shit smile, like he's genuinely like smiling. It's just like, look, you got a hang of it.
how about this? It's good, but it's still pretty obvious that he's still new to this.
Yeah, but listen, Cell's gonna be encouraging. Like, do you really think Cell would look at Azumi's potato and be like, ha ha?
No, 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 no. Like, no, I mean, like, to flavor that 17.
Yeah, fair enough. Like it's you don't nick yourself like Azumi. Azumi doesn't nick himself. He also doesn't accidentally like drop the potato or anything like that. But like Marcel said, there are still like moments when you accidentally like carve out a chunk of flesh with the skin, even with a 17.
Yeah. And he he's really like handling this like it's a lot more delicate than it is, but you can still tell there are moments where he does like bump up like that.
Yep. And Cell like after Azumi is done peeling, I think Cell does like again, Cell's just like, yeah, I think you've got a hang of it. Peeling potatoes, it does take a bit of practice. There's really nothing to it except time and experience, but like you did a pretty good job. And he holds up a potato. And now we have to we have to we have to cut all these potatoes into about 2-inch chunks.
All right.
Hmm. And I'm gonna roll again, just to see. That's a nat 20. Like you see Cell like put a potato on this chopping board, and then like you see the flash of the knife, and like there's chopping noises fill the air as he just like chops a single potato into 2-inch chunks.
You did that too fast. I could not learn anything from you.
Oh, here, I'll do it slower. And 17, yeah, he does it more slowly this time.
Okay. And he watches you. Um Again, there is the sense that he is trying to like handle this a lot more delicately than someone should, but he's rolling a disadvantage again.
Yeah, I think Cell will like tell Azumi that you don't have to make everything the same size or shape. It doesn't really matter.
So
That's a 16. He's doing well, Abby. Isn't he doing so well?
uh I was fully expecting him to just fucking suck at this, but the dice said no.
That's it. Actually, the power of friendship smiles.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, yeah, I think actually, like, as Azumi, like, goes cut it, like, you said that he was handling this a lot more delicately than he probably should, and it kind of showed, right?
Yeah.
I think, like, Sal would look over and just kind of be like, may I? And gesture at, at Azumi's hands, kind of like, hey, can I adjust your grip real quick?
Yeah, and he kind of just nods and lets you do it.
Yeah, so he does that thing where he adjusts like Azumi's grip and he's just like here like so, and he kind of moves Azumi's hand to help him like chop the potatoes, and he's just like, you don't have to worry, you don't have to treat this so delicately. The potatoes aren't going to explode in your face or something if you cut them wrong.
Well, this is Einquell. Anything could happen.
Well, that's true, but he kind of like chuckles a bit. Trust that I wouldn't give you a potato that explodes in your face?
I suppose.
I'll take that. And yeah, Azumi, you coast along with that 16 and you chop some you chop the potatoes into about 2-inch chunks. Like obviously they aren't like all like identical in shape. Some of them are slightly bigger, some of them are slightly smaller. But like all in all you do pretty well for your first try. I can feel and to the listeners, I can hear Avi like pouting over the fact that Azumi has been rolling really good rolls.
Like, I probably should expect this from my boy because he's always like this. Trademark. But, like, I'm just. It head in hands. It's. It's wild.
And well, after we're finished cutting, we take a large soup pot and Mersal like picks up the pot that Azumi took out earlier and puts it down on the counter in front of their peeled and cut potatoes. And we fill it with water. He turns on the tap and fills it with water from that. We fill it to water until about so. And then we drop the potatoes in.
Okay.
Alright, once you drop the potatoes in, you stir for a bit, like, say, about 2 minutes is fine.
Is,
And
is,
once,
is it on the stove already?
no, it's still on the counter, like, you just have to, like, I'm literally reading a step-by-step instruction right now. Um, like, apparently, like, you stir, like, this is me out of character. Apparently, you just stir like the potatoes in the water for just the water for a bit, because like I don't know, it makes the potatoes softer. It makes the water taste more potatoey.
Oh, understandable. I get it.
Yeah, so like you just stir the potatoes in the water for a bit, and then you take the pot and you put it over the stove and you turn the heat on, and it's just all right, so now you take the pot over to the stove and you turn it on medium heat. So, like so. And you can leave the stove on for about 20 minutes. After about 20 minutes, the potatoes should be ready. You'll be able to tell and test for this by poking them through with a fork. Like so like takes out a fork. Um, you'll notice that right now they're not soft at all. He points out like poking a potato with the fork, like the fork barely does anything. But once they've boiled for long enough, they will get softer and softer, and you'll know the potatoes are ready when your fork basically goes through them with zero resistance.
It seems logical.
20 minutes is what the usual time potatoes take to get, as we call it, fork tender, but it might differ by a few minutes or so. And the reason why you have to let the potatoes sit in water and stir for a bit before you put them on the stove is because the potatoes are really starchy at first. So you have to let them rest in the water so that they can properly cook later on.
Alright.
And then Cell's just like, but once 20 minutes has passed, you'll remove the pot from the heat, and then you'll have to drain away the water from the potatoes.
Alright, so. Stir the potatoes, let them boil, and then drain.
Yes.
Alright.
And And once you've drained the water from those potatoes, you add the milk and butter. Like he points at the butter that he's laid out. It's probably not the entire steak. He probably laid out a certain amount. And the milk, the milk that he laid out, you add the milk and butter and those measurements onto the potatoes, and then you place back on the medium heat. Wait until the milk bubbles a bit, about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can turn off the heat, season with as much salt and pepper you want, and the soup would be done.
Alright.
And Sal kind of like smiles and goes, "This soup in question can also be made ahead of time, so um, even if you have leftovers, you can just store them in a container or something, and they can survive for up to 3 days in the refrigerator."
That is assuming before my roommates get to it. He kind of just does an affectionate eye roll.
Yeah, and Sal's just like, "You can write your name on it? The container, I mean."
Labels have never stopped any of my roommates.
Fair enough. But while we're waiting for the potatoes to get firm tender, and Sal's kind of like smiling. How was it cooking so far? I mean,
Well, it's fine. Does seem to be a rather like normal problem solving, so I can work with that.
yes, most cooking is actually much simpler than you'd expect. And it's just knowing where to start. Um, he kind of like grins at that, and it's just like not to bring up the filleting fish incident again, but yes, filleting a fish is generally not where most people start.
Stop bringing that up. Please. I wasn't even the one bringing that up. And he kind of rubs a hand against his face.
I think so, like just like a little chuckle, but nods, and it's just like, but judging by what I've seen so far, I think you'd be able to cook. I think you'd be able to cook potatoes too, really simply, really easily. Sorry, I mixed the words up.
You're so valid. And he just kind of sighs. And it's the kind of sigh that like a person does to get themselves to relax a little bit. And you do see his like shoulders kind of I guess slacken. They kind of droop like just a bit. Um and as he's watching over the pot and making sure that the potatoes are, all right and everything. Um, uh, I think at this point I'm gonna roll a quick survival.
Oh boy, Heavy, why are you rolling survival?
For cooking.
Okay, fair enough.
He got an 11 on the dice. Plus, what's your survival? Did I?
It's gonna be his
Wisdom, yeah.
wisdom.
He got a 13.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. He probably like lets his gets distracted either by talking to you or like something else. This is a man who thinks too much because of certain things, cough cough, his quarry
Yeah.
has a lot on his mind, and but he does manage to catch that. Oh wait, that's a little bit too long. And
Yeah. It's fine. The reason why I still choose potatoes specifically is because it's not as Like, even if you miss it by a tiny margin, it's not like they're gonna burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst that would happen is they get a little mushier than you wanted, but like that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. And you do see him kind of wince when he realized that he went, like, even just the slightest bit.
I think Saul like noticing his wins is just like, hey, still good. You only went over it slightly. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially since this is your first time.
And he just kind of takes a deep breath and sighs.
Are you alright?
Uh, I know I said that I didn't want to, like, dip into angst.
I mean, if the character takes you there and like the FPS is naturally leading there, then it's fine. We did plan this to have angst, but I guess you're Azumi.
And he goes, "It's it's fine. I'm just." Takes a deep breath and he goes, "I'm just trying to convince myself that the only one I'm trying to please is myself."
Uh, and kind of like, actually, Azumi, roll inside.
You're asking him to
Yes,
insight.
I'm asking him to roll inside.
Alright, that was a 16. That's. Like, he rolls.
After what you say,
He
it's
rolls.
still high.
Yeah, he
It's
rolls
still high.
low, but his modifiers, man.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like, it's still high. Like, I was just laughing because you were like, you asked him to roll inside, and then you rolled an 8.
Yeah, the dice likes to make a fool of me. Apparently, they've chosen to spite me.
And dies softly. Oh, hubris? Hubris? Oh, jail for Avi. Jail for Avi for 1,000 years.
It's true.
But I think jokes aside, yeah, like with a 16, you look at Sel and the way he's looking at you right now, and there is like understanding there actually, like understanding and recognition. Like he gets that, like he's felt that before. And Sel kind of just looks at the potatoes. When I first started baking, I started pretty late in life. I started when I was 17 to 18 years old.
Late in life, that's still rather young.
Well, considering I'm only 21, that's only really 4 years ago. I've only been cooking for 4 years. And he kind of like looks at Zumi and goes, I when I first started cooking and baking, the very first thing that I tried to do was bake bread.
Alright.
And I'm not sure if you know this, but baking bread is actually considered very difficult. It's considered one of the most fickle things you could ever do because bread requires so much attention to detail and so little margin for error. If you even if you even make a single misstep, the dough will probably burn or deflate or just taste plain wrong just to spite you. And well, he scratches his cheek. When I suffice to say that when I first started doing this, I had a lot of burnt bread on my hands, or bread that just wasn't bread at all. It was misshapen or more like flat pancakes. And well, it was hard. Mostly because I was rather hard on myself every time I fail. I well, I wanted to be good at it straight away. This might come as a surprise to you, but I was actually very good at magic when I was younger, and so most things that I was interested in doing, I was able to do without failing at all. But I he taps his fingers on the counter. Took me a bit, but well, I after every failure, after every time that I failed, after every time I kind of like stuck through that feeling, I I learned eventually, and I believed eventually that yeah, no one's around to judge me or my bread. No one's going to no one's going to, I don't know, throw the bread in my face and say, "This is horrible. How dare you bring something like this into Einquell," or anything. This is just something I made for myself, by myself. And, even if I am teaching you this, you don't have to impress me either. I wanted to teach you to cook, mostly because, well, I wanted you to take more care of yourself and that point in that department. But it's really like something that you should do for yourself.
Oh, buddy. What do you say?
Avi constantly, every time they play Azumi, shakes the detective.
It's
Give me your
true.
word.
It's true. He likes to withhold information even from me. Uh
Azumi is like, oh, you want to put me through like thoughts? You want to like give me sentience? Well, then here's your consequences. Turns away from you.
It's more like he's at the moment he's giving me too much to put into words. And I'm just
God,
like
that's so valid.
it's like I'm trying to figure out what to say.
Mhm. I'm sorry, by the way, like out of character, I'm sorry Cell said that because I was not expecting him to. He just grabbed my throat. Lewis,
And
Lewis,
yeah,
Lewis.
thank you, Lewis. uh and I
Did he break Azumi?
no, I think I know what he's going to say. He just kind of takes a deep breath, like he's taking in what you just said and kind of just nodding at it. He nods slowly, but he does eventually stop and say, I come from a background where anything less than perfect was unacceptable. Coming here was a bit of a culture shock. I'm
I
just
saw her. Oh, you first.
adjusting. Sorry, he says, I'm just adjusting. And
Mm.
as he says that, he's probably going to start, like, making sure that, I don't know how long it's been. He's probably going to put everything back into, he's probably going to put everything back into the, drain the water. God, I forgot the word for drain.
Yeah, he's drained the water. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been long enough by this point. Yeah, like drain the water and then like kind of add the milk and butter and then place it back on the stove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as he does that, I think Cell just kind of like quietly like pulls his hat over like his face for a moment first, just like, well, that's something we have in common then.
It's certainly a kind of hell.
What did he say?
It's certainly a kind of hell.
Ah, Mersel wins this. It's just, yeah, yeah, it is. But well, Unquell is different, and what Toontown specifically.
And you see him take a deep breath, and he doesn't really, like, say anything as he just continues. I'm just gonna roll another survival just to see how he's doing. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
I will say that you probably would have advantage since Marcel is right next to you and would help like if you lose track of your stew for like too long or something.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that is definitely better.
What was the first one?
That was a 7 on the dice.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, 17 is definitely better. Like you almost like lose track of it again, but then Cell kind of like gently like grabs your shoulder and suggests like Azumi eat this soup.
Fuck the soup. The soup.
The soup. Like Azumi like Azumi like
Azumi your sticks.
Azumi turns off like the stove and then like just like how salty or like peppery does Azumi like his food? Because he has full reign on how much spice he wants to give this.
Gosh, I don't know. If it's just salt and pepper, he just probably like puts like an equal amount of both. I don't know.
Because I know like certain people do like their soup like more peppery than others. Like I'm one of them. I put an obscene amount of pepper in anything.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's flip a coin. Okay, I guess it's the salt.
Yeah. Gosh, Azumi puts some salt in, puts some pepper in, pauses, and then it's just like, you know what? I like it salty, and just puts it more salt in.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like if he's just doing this for himself, he's just like, okay, I don't have to worry about anybody else, and he just puts some more salt in, and yeah.
And with that, Azumi, your soup is ready. And when you look back, Marcel has like 2 bowls out. And he's holding one out to Azumi, and it's just like, why don't you give it a try? First bite should be yours.
And he takes it and pours out a little bit and makes sure to get some of the potato chunks, because those are good. And he's gonna try it.
I'm actually gonna give me a second while I do this. Okay, so that's the tree. 3 by 3 because 3 rolls. Yeah, so like averaging out, you rolled an average of 17 throughout this entire cooking session, so the soup is good. Like, it is really good, and obviously it's not perfect. There's still like some small inconsistencies. The potato is slightly a bit too mushy because of that time Azumi let it set for too long.
Yeah.
But like aside from that, yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Hang on, I have to.
Are you rolling something right
I
now?
sure am. Oh gosh. I know there's a FPS directly behind us, but we're coming up on the end. Give me a sec.
It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm pretty sure the FPS directly. Yeah, it's on in another server. We're fine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I did not see that. Anyway. As I hop over to the dice roll and put down what Azumi rolled.
Oh, is that deception?
That was deception.
Can I ask what he was decepting?
For the audience, because I was about to say this for the audience anyway. For the audience, Azumi rolled a 26 on deception. He's surprised that it actually came out as good as it did. Sorry, the babies just woke up.
Azumi, why would you lie about being surprised?
He lies about fucking everything.
I know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's Azumi's surprise. Sorry, I just read the gallery.
Yeah, I was trying not to laugh.
Lewis, I'm gonna kill you. Anyway. He's surprised that it came out as good as it did, even though he wasn't perfect at it. It's less that he's surprised that it's good, and more surprised that something he made on his first try, with the mistakes and everything, tastes just fine.
Yeah. God, now I'm fucking emotional. God damn it. And that's a 26 deception, so I would not be able to tell what Azumi is feeling right now. And he's just like, good?
Well, it definitely needs some improvement, but not bad for a first try.
Not bad for my first try, huh? Am I allowed to have a taste?
He gives you a gesture like, go ahead.
I think Sal's gonna get a full and have a taste. And again, Azumi did put a lot of salt in this, so but like it panders to Azumi, so it's not like it ruins like the soup. It's just like it specifically panders to Azumi's taste. So Sal does like take a bite and it's just like, oh, it's good.
And Zumi just nods, and he's like, well, he pauses for a bit, like he's because he's taking another bite. But after a moment, he says, "Well, I survived our first lesson."
Yes, you did. I actually, and let me roll something real quick. I hope he fumbles. God damn it! I was so hoping he'd fumble.
So close, and yet
Wait,
so far.
let me roll two. One for the notebook and one for the pen. Damn it. Okay, so he takes out a notebook and he takes out like a pen and he kind of like starts writing something in it for a bit, and then he gives the notebook to Azumi and on the very first page is like the recipe for a potato soup.
He looks at it and he goes, "What's this? Just the recipe?"
Oh yeah, I figured that until you get a hang of it, it wouldn't hurt for you to have the recipe to fall back on if you forget any steps. And you can fill up the other pages as we learn more recipes too.
I see. And he just carefully takes the notebook and looks it over.
Hold on, I need to grab like the notebook. Because this is Marcel, and I feel like this is a very specific looking notebook. Okay, yeah, I found something exactly like what I wanted. So the notebook probably looks something like this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Listen, he's a wishing star warlock. Of course his notebook would look like something like that.
Yeah, no, like Azumi For the audience who are listening in on the recording, Vamp just posted a picture of a notebook cover that is a really nice shade of blue with constellations on it. And I'm just like, oh man.
Do you want to know where, like, where you can get this notebook? Because it's for sale for like
No, no, no,
$27.
it's fine. I have so many notebooks that I haven't even used yet.
No, same. Looking at this notebook and I'm literally holding myself back.
Mood. But yeah, he looks it over and he just says, "Well, thank you."
You're welcome. And he kind of like gives a grin and like shows off his empty bowl. Mind if I take seconds?
He just kind of chuckles and he says, "Go right ahead."
And I think we can end the FPS there unless Avi has anything else they want to add.
No, that's perfect. I think they both go back for seconds and the scene ends on the two of them eating and probably poking fun at each other.
You know what would be funny?
What?
If in the middle of eating, like as like right before the FPS ends, like the FPS ends on Azumi saying, "Huh, I think this might actually need more salt."
No, he would not. It's fine.
God, it would have been so funny though.
Oh my gosh. Oh god.
Me holding Azumi. Wow, cooking and emotions.
You got a good balance of both.
You got a good balance of both, and it didn't actually dip into angsty territory.
Well, it did for a little bit, but only a tiny bit.
Tiny, tiny bit.
Teeny tiny bit. And sorry, the baby is getting close to my room. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
I think this is a good place to end off.
Thank you all for listening. We hope you have fun. And God, I throttled both of this too. I throttled them both. The amount of parallels with this two is insane.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But for now, thank you, Vamp, for playing with me, and thank you to our wonderful, wonderful audience. We bid you a good time zone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.